A man's purpose is not defined by his achievements, but by his willingness to live authentic and embrace the depths of his being. Hello, welcome to the AirShop book series. I've created a series where we dive into certain books and we dive into certain chapters to speak about not only real life purposes, but also real life lessons that I can learn, but you can learn as well. Now, this is a start, but this is something that I've honestly want to really take my time and try to do, not only for myself, but maybe for you. Maybe it's something that you could take away from this that you never thought that you would know. Maybe it's something that I can take away from it. So we're all here to learn. We're all here to make sure that we have a general understanding about life. I feel like personally, a lot of people make videos about things that they feel opinionated. Not necessarily just opinionated, but things that doesn't come with a lot of substance, you know? You can bring a lot of substance from a book, from an article, from a powerful person that's experienced life, that went through some things, that had a certain type of different perspective about how they view life and how they experience it. So today we're going to be covering The Way of the Superior Man. It's a very, very great book to really, really read. I've read a little bit of it. It's a deep one. It's honestly a deep dive into what it is to become not only just a superior man, but also have the authenticity to live as a superior man and to enjoy the fruits and labors of what you create, not only for yourself, but whatever legacy you leave behind. Now, in this chapter, it dives into three traits. Authenticity, purpose, and I believe depth. I believe these three things are the most essential things that goes to the root of a superior man. Now we need to break this down. What is authenticity? If we're going by the definition of undisputed origin, genuine. If we're going off the definition of purpose, the reason for which something is done or is created for something that is already existing. And last is depth, the distance from the top or the surface of the bottom of something. Now those are just the basic and standard definitions of something that goes into it. But if we're just genuinely going into authenticity, what is your definition of authenticity? Somebody that's real, authentic, obviously. But it's honestly real, somebody that has a genuine soul. Think about that, a genuine soul. When you have somebody that has authenticity to them, you are more open to them. You're more open to be truthful. You're more open to speak about your life, more open to have a level of trust. When you have somebody that authenticity to them, you are more open to them. You're more open to be truthful. You're more open to speak about your life, more open to have a level of trust. When you have somebody that has purpose, you see what their main goal is, what they love to do, what they strive to do, what they understand about the outside noise, things that don't necessarily distract them easily than somebody who doesn't have purpose. It's easily to get distracted. It's easily to get off your grind, your motivation, your pivot, anything that'll deteriorate you, you know? And depth is just something that you go into a very, very, very deep dive into when it comes to how well you really want to learn something, how much you want to become this person. If you want to go to a job, you go as a base worker. The base workers, they always make the less money because they work the hardest. The ones that's always at the top don't do much groundwork. They think with their head. They go on more into depth. The more and more you go into depth with not only just jobs or just anything career-wise, you get more understanding and more knowledge and more creativity. That's what it comes with. Now, if we're going into purpose, purpose is if we're going into purpose, we go into a different level of things that we need to take in consideration. First of all, what is purpose? Something that you honestly, like we talked about earlier, purpose is what you make it. If you feel like you need to create a legacy, if you feel like you need to create a sense of fulfillment in not only your life, but what you represent. Somebody told me before that without purpose, you stand for nothing. Stand for something or you fall for nothing. What drives you? What is your purpose? What do you like to insinuate when it comes to not only what do you want to leave behind, but what you want people to remember you by? In the book, it talks about the journey of growth. Now, growth is something that we all take small and little increment steps into a lot of things. Sometimes other people might take a longer time to grow than others. Whether you are stuck in a constant loop of reoccurring cycles of things that you don't want to do. Drugs, alcohol, binge watching on TV, doom scrolling, doing a lot of things that you know that you shouldn't be doing, that you could be doing something else with your time, but you decide to do. We've all been there. We've all been to the point of where we're doing something we know we're not supposed to do, or doing something that's not necessarily benefiting us when we need to stay on track or stay on course. Growth could also come to those who have an environmental distraction or an environmental stump, where whoever you hang around, where you be at majority of the time, where you spend your time with, who you spend it with, takes a big toll on you, because it could hinder you or it could propel you to the next level. It also goes into what your mindset is around the time that you're doing what you're doing, about where do you like to be in life, or where do you want to be in life. All it takes is just a small step, something that you could implement every single day, 5 to 10 minutes of doing whatever you need to do to make your life feel a little bit more different. You see, as us, when we get older, we have this subconscious chain that we need to all necessarily break. When we're young, we're programmed to think that we're supposed to do a certain amount of things or do this certain thing to live the way we live. Or we get to the point to where we are not able to break out of this chain because that's all we know and that's all we think we know. But it's very much more deeper than that. We have a better understanding as human beings about where we need to be in life, but we just don't take the initiative to make that certain step. That creates not only who you are as a person, authentic-wise, but also implementing your purpose and also implementing your That goes into not only implementing your authenticity, also implementing the purpose, and also implementing the depth in who you are as an individual. That makes you a superior man or woman. Whoever you feel like needs to understand that, it's for you. You are in the driver's seat. You control your life. You control whatever you feel like needs to be implemented in your life, or wherever you feel like you need to go. It all starts with you. It all takes that one leap of faith, that chance, something that you never thought that you could do, you could honestly do it. I do appreciate you tuning in to the first book series of our channel. We have a lot of more books to cover and a lot more chapters to cover. This is just the introduction. It's just the beginning. I can be very much more of service when it comes to how to look at things from a different perspective or through a different glass lens. I appreciate you tuning in to this video, and I'll see you in the next one.